This conference will now be recorded.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So we'll start in 5 minutes, sir.
Okay, no problem.
Sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Now we'll start our second scientific session, and our resource person is Dr. Pradeep sir. He's HOD and Associate Professor, Department of Dravyagunam, STM College of Ayurveda, Hassan, and the topic is significance of cultivation, conservation of medicinal plants in today's scenario. Now I request Dr. Bhuneshwari Madam to introduce our guest speaker.
A very good afternoon to one and all. Myself, Dr. Bhuneshwari. It's my pleasure to introduce our today's speaker, Dr. Pradeep Sir, Associate Professor at Raghuram, STM College of Ayurveda, Hassan. Sir was born on 22nd September 1970. Sir completed his MG PG Ayurvedic. Sir experience for include so, sir has attended national level seminars and conferences, more than 35 speakers has attended and presented papers. So among them, on diversity speakers participated in Rashtriya Paramparika Vaidya Sammellana organized by Paramparika Vaidya Parishad, Global West organized by Bangalore. These are few of his conferences attended. Sir has also presented many papers in the national and international journals. And sir has worked as resource person in more than 10 programs. Sir also worked as organizing secretary, organized many training programs under his experience. Sir has also given the free radio like Sanjeevani New Delhi. So national sir has also worked in many national services like national service as a NSS officer. Sir has more than 65 publications in national and international journals. And sir has worked as assistant professor and assistant in the Department of Innovation of Medical College. And sir is presently working as HOD assistant professor at SKM Hassan College of Ayurveda. This brief introduction. Now I am handing over to you.
Hello. Hello, good afternoon.
Haan, sir.
Is it audible?
Yes, sir, it's audible, sir.
Okay, screen sharing. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir, we can see. Yes, sir, yes. We can see the screen.
Okay. So good afternoon, one and all. So first of all, I congratulate organizers to conduct such a wonderful seminar. So a useful seminar at present era, isn't it? So myself, Dr. Pradeep. So my topic is significance of cultivation and conservation of medicinal plants in today's scenario. Actually, the time, the post-lunch session is not much favorable to talk this session. So even though that I will try to be active. So why the cultivation is important? So the cultivation is nowhere it is mentioned in the Samhita Kala or Charaka Sushruta Vagbata. So why? Because so during those days, so enough resources of plants was available on those time. But nowadays, due to the deforestation and excess usage of medicinal plants, when according to WHO survey, so more than 80% of the medicinal plants are used by the people, isn't it? So introduction, the WHO estimated that 80% of people used the traditional system of medicine, especially the plant-based medicines for their healthcare needs, isn't it? So around more than 21,000 of plant species have potential and getting used as medicinal plants in India, isn't it? Not only in India, even the worldwide also, many of the medicinal plants like Britain, America, so many of the medicinal plants are utilized for different medicinal purpose. On all culture from ancient times to present day, so plant as a source of medicines. When Ayurveda is the science of life, so it is the Indian system of medicines, isn't it? So since centuries or since many years we are using the Ayurveda medicines. So due to increased demand of herbal medicines or Ayurveda medicines, so nowadays it was accepted globally also. So Ayurveda is one of the system of medicines, isn't it? So due to increased demand of medicinal plants, it leads to the irrational cutting of deforestation. Our utilization is more, but cultivation is decreased, and wild source of medicines also decreased or endangered, isn't it? So that's why to increase the resource of medicines, the cultivation is very much important. So nowadays even India 130 crores population is there. So our aim is to supply for all. So to supply for 130 crores of people, we need to cultivate. You must cultivate the medicinal plants. So now some of the drugs have been subjected to the systematic cultivation to meet the demand of medicinal plants. When so many example that hyphena, that good demand is there, or Strychnos naxomica. Many plants have a demand and utilization in the drugs are more. So according to the latest or recent survey, even Ayurveda using 81.7% of herbal medicines, folk 67.97% of herbs, homeopathy 14.9%, modern medicine 6.38%, Siddha medicine 56.72%, Tibetan 23.77%, Unani 52.29%. So this much of medicinal plants are used nowadays in India. So every year. That's why the cultivation of medicinal plant is very important role. Even during the COVID season, so most of 90% of the people using medicinal plants one or the other way. It may be a Shunti Kashaya or Amruta Kashaya. So many things. So that's why when utilization is more, so there is a lack of drugs. So when lack of drugs, it may cause this adulteration of drugs. So to prevent the adulteration of drug or to get the genuine variety of drugs, so the cultivation is very much important role. So come to the definition. What is the definition of cultivation? That means domestication of medicinal plant or aromatic plant with scientific method of growing or scientific parameters. Medicinal and aromatic plants are subjected to the systematic cultivation based on the modern scientific information. So only in Krushi Parashara, so in Charaka Sushrita, nowhere it is mentioned regarding the cultivation of drugs. But in case of Krushi Parashara, so they have mentioned so when to cultivate and how to cultivate and how to collect the seed and seed preservation. So those things are mentioned in the Krushi Parashara Vijnana. Right? So what is the good time for sowing of the seeds? So according to the Krushi Parashara, that Vaishaka Masa is the best time for sowing the seeds. So how the Garbhadarana, Rutu Kshetra, Ambu Bija. So those are important in the same way. So for good cultivation practices and to maintain the good yield and good active principle in the particular drugs, so the systematic cultivation is the most important. So the Vaishaka Masa is considered as best time for sowing. The rest of them are not good. So the Madhyama is Jyeshtha Masa. Almost April, May and June month is good time for cultivations. So Bija Sangrahana, even before going to cultivation, so how to collect the seed and how to store the seeds. So in Krushi Parashara, I said, Mage va Palgune Masi Sarva Bijani Samaret. Shoshayed Atape Sammek Nayuhado Vinidapayet. That means, so before storing the any seeds, so it should be dried properly in the sunlight. Then after proper drying, suppose if it not dried properly, what will happen? So there is a chance of infest or occurrence of pest attack, isn't it? So that's why to prevent the pest or to prevent the deterioration of seeds, so one should dry properly in the sunlight and then should be stored. So then come to the methods of propagation or methods of cultivation. So one is sexual method or seed propagation. Second one is asexual method, vegetative propagation. So seed propagation means, so in this method the plants are raised from the seeds. So such plants are known as seedlings, isn't it? So by using the seeds, cultivation of medicinal plants, it may be herbs or shrubs or trees. So those are seed propagation. So what are the advantages of seed propagation? So seed propagation, when compared to the grafting or stem cutting, the seedlings are long-lived plants. So we can maintain for years together. And seedlings are cheaper and easy to raise or easy to cultivate. Propagation from the seed has been responsible for production of some chances. That means seedlings are highly superior merits, or it yields good this. And another disadvantage is they require more time to bear when compared to harvesting, etc. is more in case of seedling methods. So next we'll move on to the asexual method of cultivation. So asexual method, I think you might be knowing, many of the plants are cultivated by using stem cutting or root or tubers, corms. So by using these things, so we should cultivate the medicinal plants. So vegetative part of the plant such as stem, root, rhizome, corm. So by using this, we'll cultivate. So you might have observing the diagrams. So this is a grafting, isn't it? And layering and division. So the division of rhizomes or corms. So these are the different method of cultivation. This comes under asexual method of cultivation. So these you might have observed in the diagram. Even Kolanchi pinnata or Parnabija, or even cultivation of runners, cultivation of stolons, cultivation of that shunti rhizomes, isn't it? So by using stem cuttings. So vegetative propagation. Among that asexual method, so it is one part, vegetative propagation. So by using the pieces of garlic or pieces of tubers, pieces of rhizome, so nodal region, so one can able to germinate. So it is done by showing the various parts of the plant. Next, aseptic method of micropropagation. So aseptic method, so just like a tissue culture plant, isn't it? So septic, the plants are developed in an artificial medium under aseptic condition from fine pieces of plants like single cell, or it may be single callus, seeds, embryos, root tips, or from the tissue culture means, so from the part of plant, any part of the plant, so one can develop in different medias, that is aseptic. So just like a test tube baby. So the cultivation of medicinal plant by using micro propagation. So advantages of asexual method is, so all the plants grows in uniformly, isn't it? And seedless varieties of fruits can only be propagated by vegetative. So no other options. Example, dadima, pomegranate, draksha. So only by stem cuttings or other methods. And plants start bearing earlier when compared to the seedling cultivation. Here it gives fruit earlier, or it grows earlier, isn't it? Budding or grafting, which encourages the disease resistant variants. That means, so during the cultivation, stem cutting cultivation, so it is treated with a different type of chemicals, so that which prevent the diseases or disease resistant varieties can be grown by this method or stem cutting methods. So limitations, so there are not vigorous in growth and not long lived, but seedling method is long lived plant and it can be maintained for many years, but stem cutting, these are not long lived. An example, rose or ginger, aloe vera, garlic, potato. So these are the herbs, isn't it? No new varieties can be evaluated. So the evaluation of new varieties are just modifications. So one should go for seedling method or sexual method of cultivation. So here there is no much changes among asexual method of cultivations. Then what are the factors affecting the cultivation? So these are the different factors. It may be altitude or temperature, humidity, rainfall, soil and soil fertility, fertilizers, pest and pest control. So how these thing alters the medicinal plant? Example is altitude, isn't it? Even some of the plants grow in a particular area or particular habitat, so which is above the sea level. Altitude is very important factors in cultivation of medicinal plant. An example, Cinchona bark or Cinchona officinalis, so which grows above the 1000 to 1500 meters height of altitude. And Karpura also, which grows more than 1500 feet height of altitude. So there only it is able to grow and it gives a good yield, isn't it? So in a lower altitude, these are unable to grow and unable to yield, isn't it? So like that, the altitude also very important to grow the medicinal plant and to maintain the active principle in the particular plants. And temperature also very much important role for proper growing of medicinal plants. So which affect, even example, excessive temperature sometimes it may affect the medicinal plant, or it may be burning of medicinal plants, or it may be yielding is less, or it may be losses or deterioration of active principles, especially the volatile containing drugs. So they lose its potency due to the excess heat, isn't it? Even if too cold, the temperature is too cold. So in such climatic condition also very difficult to grow many plants. An example, saffron, it needs very cold climate for proper growing. But coffee and camphor cannot grow in the cold status. Even most of the plants need at least minimum temperature for proper growing of the medicinal plants. So because the sun rays which stimulate the growth rate. So next move on to the rainfall and irrigation. So sometimes we are investing a money and cultivated many medicinal plants. So if there is no rainfall or shortage of rainfall, or sometimes the excess of rainfall, so that affect the cultivation of medicinal plants. So we are losing the plant or plant resources. So that's why the proper rainfall and proper irrigation is very much important to proper growing of medicinal plant. In case of except xerophytic plants like acacia, most of the plants it needs a proper arrangements for irrigation or sufficient rainfall it required. So some need a moderate amount of rainfall or some needs very small amount to grow. Example that kumari. So kumari it needs very small amount of water is required for growing of the medicinal plants, isn't it? Amalaki. So moderate amount of rainfall is required to grow amalaki. So like that. So rainfall and irrigation also very much important role. Come to the soil and soil fertility. So nowadays, so due to excess usage of chemical fertilizers, the soil loses its fertility or loss of active principles, isn't it? So soil is the most important natural resource. It supports the growth of plant. So soil mainly which provide the mechanical anchorage or proper fixing of the plant and using of nutrients from the soil. And water and essential plant food, so getting from the soil. So most of the plant receives the water and essential nutrients from the soil only. And soil is the very suitable medium for plant growth, isn't it? So there are a different type of soil is there. Even all type of soil, we cannot able to grow all type of medicines, isn't it? Even example, the cultivation of shali, isn't it? So the black soil or loamy soil is good. Even cultivation of maize, isn't it? So the red soil is suitable. So like that, for the cultivation of different medicinal plants, so the different type of soil is required. So these are the clay or red soil, loamy black soil, silt loam and sandy soil. So this also we need to evaluate before cultivating the medicinal plant. So in which soil the drugs can be grown. For example, the cultivation of Aifena, loamy soil is good, isn't it? In cultivation of Ingu, sand mixed loamy soil. So that is good. So like that, the cultivation of a different plants or different medicinal plants, a different type of soil is required. So soil fertility is also very much important, which provides the nutrients for the medicinal plants and aromatic plants. The capacity of soil to provide the good nutrient in adequate amount and balanced proportion of plants. So plant receives the fertilizers and it grows well and maintain the good active principles. So nowadays we are using chemical fertilizers and animal manures, even the prepare from the plants also. Some of the fertilizers prepare from the plant, isn't it? Example that karanja cake or by neem leaves, isn't it? So preparing soil fertility. Next one is fertilizers and manures. So this one also I am not going to deal much. So chemical fertilizers example is phosphorus and potassium. So manures from the oil cake or karanja seed cake or neem leaves, isn't it? Or other leaves. Even biofertilizers, so blue algae and rhizobium. So a different type of that insects. So insects, so which is able to grow or stimulating the plants to grow. So next is pest and pest control in the cultivation. So usually most of them are investing for the cultivation of medicinal plants, so that everybody needs a profit or accepting the benefits of plant, isn't it? So to get the considerable quantity of crude drugs, isn't it? Suppose if you are not caring properly, so there is a chance of deterioration or destruction of medicinal plants by due to these pests, isn't it? Example, fungus and virus and insects, even sometimes weeds. Suppose if not de-weeding properly, there is a chance of loses the medicinal plant. Even non-insect pest like rat, monkey, squirrel, pig, and crabs, snails. So these also causes a destruction of medicinal plant. So that's why the controlling of pest is very much important to get the good amount or good yield of medicinal plants. So these are the pests. That fungus, virus, insects, isn't it? Rat. So these also responsible for destruction of medicinal plants. So to get the good yield, even Acharyas said the Sangraha Samrakshana Vidhi. So collection in the particular period and particular time, and even what type of drugs should be collected. Even while explaining the Madanaphala collection period. So explain. So it should not be affected by any insects, or it should not be over ripened. So like that they given, isn't it? So like that the proper cultivation of medicinal plant, the pest and pest control also important role. So methods of pest control. This one is chemical methods, biological methods, physical or mechanical methods, cultural method. So chemical method is so by using a different chemical spray or medicine spray to control the different kind of pest. It may be repellents or growth regulators or antimicrobials, isn't it? So or pesticides to kill the pest. So these are the chemical methods of pest control. Right. Next one is biological methods. Biological method is so to kill the one type of krimi, the another krimi or another insect is used. Here parasites, using of parasites to kill the another one. So the krimi which destroyed the another one is destructed by the another parasites. Next one is mechanical. So mechanical method is, I think you might have observed in the fields, isn't it? So using of screen or using of combs, isn't it? Or proper clothing, or even this one that some screenings, isn't it? So the mechanical method or manual separation of krumis or killing the rodent animals like rats, isn't it? So those are the mechanical method or physical method. So cultural method is good sanitization and changing of habitat. Habitat means, for example, this year one place if we cultivate Kumari, so the same place change the habitat. So next year cultivate Tulasi, or next year cultivate Bringaraja. So like that, that change the habitat or place should be changed for the cultivation. So next go for plant growth regulators. So this importance is, so these are the type of plant hormones. So one which regulate or one which initiates the growth of cell, or it may be growth of tissue in many of the plants for good yielding or to increase the yield of medicinal plant. So these are the growth regulators are using. So plant growth regulators are the organic compounds other than the nutrients. So these are not nutrients, so which changes the morphological structure of the plants. An example, auxins. Auxins which are responsible for cell division and cell elongation in the plants. So to increase the cell elongation. So by that we can grow longer. So longer of the plants, or long leaves or long stem. So useful part of the plant. And gibberellins. So gibberellins, this is also responsible for stem elongation or stem germination. Germination of seed. One which stimulate the germination of seeds and flowering, isn't it? Especially you might have observed in Dadima cultivation, isn't it? So for the flowering of plants or good inflorescences, the gibberellins is used to motivate or to regulate the cultivations. And cytokinins, so cell division in root and stem. So like that, many hormones or many medicines are used to regulate the plant cultivation. So next, after the cultivation, next one is harvesting. So harvesting is more important to maintain the active principle. So important operation in the cultivation technology. So the drugs need to be harvested when it achieve the pharmacopoeial standards. Even for example, that Madanaphala, when to collect Madanaphala? So when the color changes of Madanaphala from yellow to brownish color, or proper ripened Madanaphala. or even Swarnapatri. Swarnapatri, when color changes from green to yellowish. So the collection of drug is very much important to achieve the pharmacopoeial standards. Harvested when there is a maximum active principle, or collect the drug when it reaches the maximum active principle, isn't it? So any useful part, it may be a root or stem or flower or fruit, isn't it? So that during the collection of drug, so when it reaches active principle, that's why our acharyas are said Mula is collected in Shishira Rutu or Grishma Rutu. Shaka and Patra is collected in Varsha and Vasanta Rutu. So during those period or particular time, so the drug yields a more amount of active principles. So the same thing it applied in the pharmacognosy also. The harvested when they are more therapeutic potential or therapeutically potential. Example, bark should be collected in spring season or early summer season. Or even example, that oleogum resins, so should be collected in the early morning, because the oleogum resin consists of volatile oils, gums and resins, isn't it? So once you exposed to the sun rays, so there is a chances of losing the volatile oils. So that's why, so the stem cutting or incision is done in the afternoon time, and next day early morning you have to collect the oleogum resins. So like that, the harvesting one is one which reaches the pharmacognostical standards and maximum active principles present in the particular drug. So then only we have to collect the drugs. So next, after the collection of drug, then processing. So processing and preservation of drug to maintain the shelf life. So that is also one of the important factors. So nowadays what happens, even Ayurveda industry, most of the people are not given importance to the crude drug. So crude drug, so they are dumping somewhere else, isn't it? Are irrationally stored. So then what will happen if not properly stored, especially in the cold seasons, or there is a cold season, the chances of fungal attack or chances of bacteria, development of bacteria due to moisture, isn't it? So there is a deterioration of active principle. To maintain the good active principle in the particular drug, so the processing of the drug, even Charaka Dravya Pariksha is explained. Idamevam Prakritim Evam Gunamevam Prabhavam Asmin Deshi Jataha Rutumeva Ruhitameva Nihitameva Anayacha Matraya Prayuktam Asmin. That means the processing of drug is explained in the Charaka Samhita Dravya Pariksha. Drying. So the drying classifications according to the modern pharmacognosy, the two types mainly. One is natural drying, so drying in sunlight, and artificial drying. So natural drying, sunlight in the minimum temperature, example, drying of clove, drying of API drugs, isn't it? And artificial drying, so nowadays many things is there, that vacuum dryer is there, spray dryer is there, tray dryer is there. So a different type of dryer to prevent the moisture absorption and deterioration of the drug. The processing and drying is important. These are the different type of dryers. This is natural one, tray dryer, isn't it? This is spray dryer. Next one is garbling or dressing. Example, especially if the drug root is useful part or moola is useful part, so the proper dressing is important, or cut into pieces and cleaning of mud particles or sand particles, and even while collecting the oleogum resins like gugulu or hingu, isn't it? So to prevent from the mud particle, the proper dressing is important. Even stem cuttings or leaves collections, isn't it? So the dressing is important. The process is desired when sand, dirt or foreign organic parts of the same plant, so not constituting the drug are required to be removed. So next, after dressing, the packaging the material, isn't it? So the packing material, if not packed or not stored properly, so there is a deterioration of active principles in the drug. An example, Ativisha or Vatsanaba, we call it as this one, Shishubaishajya or Gunavallabha. Gunavallabha means, so there is a deterioration chances is more due to the pest attacks. So that's why for the storage of Vatsanaba and storage of Ativisha, so it should be treated with copper sulfate solution. Then it should be stored. And storage of alloys in a goat skin or storage of ingu in a glass containers or good glass containers, because they might have chances of losing the volatile principles. So these are different gunny bags and storage of polyogam resins like gugulu, shellaki, mocharasa. So should be contained in a closed containers. Next, storage. To preserve the physical and chemical properties of the drug, especially the active ingredients of the drugs. So temperatures also important factors in preserving the drugs. So some of the drugs, it should be stored in normal and minimal temperature. Some of the drugs stored in a cold temperature. Some of the drugs stored in airtight bottles or moisture proof containers, isn't it? Or waterproof containers, fireproof containers, isn't it? An example, ginger. Ginger is processed with the lime water, then it is stored for long period of time, isn't it? When Vatsanaba also processed with the copper sulfate solution, so then only it is possible to preserve for long period of time, isn't it? So that's why the storage also important role to maintain the active principle for prolonged period of the time. These are different stages of cultivation. So then what are the advantages of cultivation? So advantage is, so one is ex situ conservation. Ex situ conservation means other than the habitat. So the plant which required more for using the medicinal purpose, that can be grow in the other places also. That is one of the advantage. And another one is it ensure the quality and purity of the medicinal plant, isn't it? So nowadays, due to the lack of availability of medicinal plant, so that is substituted with the many other inferior variety of plants, isn't it? So by the proper amount of cultivation, it ensures the quality and purity of medicinal plants. In collection of crude drugs from cultivated plants, it gives a better yield and better therapeutic quality. Suppose if we cultivate a required amount of drug, which how much it is required for the Indian people or 130 crore people, isn't it? So for that, we can maintain the good yield and therapeutic quality. And cultivation, which ensures the regular supply of crude drug. As a result, the industries do not face the problem of shortage of raw material. So most of medicinal industries, so there is a shortage of raw material, and many times, sometimes the katuki. So katuki is also nowadays it was endangered, in the type of endangered, so very difficult to get. So face like that, they are facing the problem in the shortage of medicines. The cultivation of medicinal and aromatic plants also leads to the industrialization to a greater extent. Actually, nowadays, especially during COVID season, so there is a shortage of amalaki, because so the Chyawanprash, most of the people they started to use Chyawanprash, and during those seasons, the highest sale of Chyawanprash is identified, isn't it? So because that contains a very rich amount of vitamin C, rejuvenating and rasayana dravya. So that time they are facing the shortage of amalaki, and they are adulterated with the some, it may be a potato starch and some other drugs. So this problem will occur if the drug are not cultivated sufficiently, isn't it? The cultivation which permit the application of modern technological aspects such as mutation, hybridization, etc. So 100% sure the Prakriti or natural drug is different than the cultivation, at least somehow can be considered as substitutes. So natural is always natural. It yields a good amount of active principle and good therapeutic value to treat many diseases. But cultivated variety, in case of shortage of medicinal plant, one must cultivate the plants. Disadvantages of cultivation. One is sometimes the cost of the drug is high because the cultivation, it needs so much manpower or labor, or it may be pesticides, or it may be fertilizers. So because of these reasons, the cost is maybe high. And sometimes the cultivated. So this year you might have observed the losses due to the ecological imbalance, such as storms or earthquakes or flood, or it may be drought. So due to excess of rain, so there is a destruction of cultivated plants. So we are losing the yields. These are the disadvantages of cultivation. In India, most of the drugs are exporting and even importing also. These are the some of example which are exported from India and importing in India. These are the medicinal plants. 10 I have given. Next we will move on to the conservation. Conservation of medicinal plant. Then after the cultivation of medicinal plant, the conservation also important. Conservation means it is the care and protection of these resources so that they can persist for our future generation. Isn't it? One slogan is there: save nature for the future generation. Isn't it? So in the COVID season, most of the people are suffering from a lack of oxygen. So only plant can provide the good oxygen or good amount of oxygen, isn't it? So that's why the cultivation of medicinal plants, aromatic plants, or any other plants is very much essential to balance the people. So conservation is the protection of resources or medicinal plant and aromatic plant resources for the future generation. Then what is the need for conservation? So conservation is, one is preservation of species and genetic diversity, and maintenance of essential ecological process and life support system on which human survival and economic activities which depends, isn't it? For the survival of human beings or animal beings, isn't it? So maintain the ecological process, the conservation of drugs is very much important. One sustainable use of species and ecosystem which supports the millions of rural communities as well as major industries. So these are the conservation strategies. So conserve the one is in situ conservation and ex situ conservation and cultivation practices are good agricultural practices. In situ conservation means, so the conservation of medicinal plant, so within the natural habitat. An example, chandana. Chandana which is able to grow in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala region. So this is considered as in situ conservation. Ex situ means other than the natural habitat. That means the chandana which is cultivated in Himalayan region or Uttar Pradesh region, so that is considered as ex situ conservation. So and good agricultural practices. So in situ means preserved in its natural habitat. An example, simple Nimba, Azadirachta indica. So it is very commonly grown in Bangladesh or dry lands. But Anupadesha, it is very difficult to grow, and the survival rate also very less in Anupadesha. Even Gokshura also. Gokshura, so you might have observed. So in the dry lands, it easily grows, but Anupadesha is very difficult to survive. So in situ is the best and cost-effective way of protecting the existing and biological and genetical diversity, because in situ, that natural habitat, the plant it grows very easily, and maintenance cost also very less in compared to the ex situ conservation. Ex situ means other than the natural habitat, conservation of plant outside the natural habitat. I told you, the cultivation of chandana in the North Indian region, or cultivation of Daruharidra, that means Berberis aristata in South Indian region, or cultivation of Pashana Beda in South Indian region. So these are ex situ conservation, isn't it? The maintenance of plant is very difficult in different areas. So by cultivating and maintaining the plants in biotic gardens, park and other suitable sites. So ex situ cultivation is through long-term preservation of plants propagules in gene banks like seed bank or pollen bank or DNA libraries. And even plant tissue culture repositories, that also considered as ex situ conservation method, and by cryopreservation or cold preservation. These are ex situ means the conservation of medicinal plant outside the natural habitat. The aim of ex situ conservation is cultivate and naturalize the threatened species to ensure their continued survival. Now, sometimes to produce a large quantity of planting material used in the creation of drugs. Suppose in case of in situ conservation, so there is a shortage of medicinal plant supply, then one should go for the ex situ conservation methods. Shortfall of drugs. So next we'll move on to the last one, endangered species. And many of the medicinals are endangered. One example is Bilwa, isn't it? So Bilwa hardly we can observe in front of temples nowadays. Simple example, Bilwa is one among the Dashamula or Bruhat Panchamulas, isn't it? Where Mula is medicinal useful part. But once we collect the Mula or root part of the drug, the whole tree will be destroyed, isn't it? So to cultivation of a single tree, at least it needs more than 20-25 years is required, isn't it? So that's why in case of such condition, how it is possible to maintain the good drug or genuine drug in the formulations, isn't it? So it is very difficult. Example, it may be Dashamula arista or Dashamula kashaya, isn't it? All Bruhat Panchamulas are trees, isn't it? So the maintenance of active principle or genuine drug in the yogas is very difficult in such situations. So that's why the cultivation is very much essential to get the good genuine variety of drugs for Ayurveda formulations. Endangered means the species are the one considered to be the at risk of extinction. A few species left that they could disappear from the planet altogether. So this one, IUCN, that means International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, isn't it? So that classified the endangered species like extinct, extinct in the wild, regionally extinct, critically endangered, endangered, vulnerable, nearly threatened, least concerned, and data deficient. Extinct means so already no more individual is available in the world. So the last species of the drug is dead, or individual species is dead. That is known as extinct. Extinct in the wild. Wild means, so in the wild or natural is extinct or destroyed, but it is in cultivated form. The drug is in cultivated form. So regional extinct. Regional means that in situ cultivation it is extinct, isn't it? Or absent in the natural habitat, or regional extinct. Then critically endangered. Critically endangered means at high risk of extinction, probably if left for some condition, same condition, would be destroyed or extinct in the next 10 years. Okay. Endangered means at the risk of extinction, if left the same condition, would probably become extinct in next 20 years, or destroy or losing the drugs in future next 20 years. Vulnerable means if left the same condition, would probably becoming extinct in next 100 years. So nowadays that what are the drugs are mentioned in the classics, most of at the range of extinction or endangered place. Survey about the endangered species, and they are trying to cultivate and maintaining the drugs in ex situ and in situ conservations. An example, belladonna, vacha, chandana. So chandana is almost at extinction, especially that Shweta chandana, Ashoka, Tejopa, Tejapatra. These are the drugs. Even in South Indian region, the survey is conducted and some are rating in red listed plant. That means already extinct or endangered. 100 red listed plant of South India is listed by the FRLHD. So these are the some of the objectives to grow the medicinal plants and to maintain the endangered species in ex situ and in situ conservations. An identification of commercially viable species in various agroclimatic zone. That means what are the drugs required for the medicinal uses in India and how much it requires, so that it should be calculated and then maintaining and motivate for cultivation. Now, standardization of agro practices in view of their cultivation and preservation of medicinal plants, and prohibited some of the medicinal plant export from India, especially Sarpagandha, Kusta, Rakta Chandana, Shweta Chandana, Katuki. So the prohibition of exporting from India. So these are some of the objectives to preserve the medicinal plants and to supply only for the Indian peoples. So next, for the cultivation of medicinal plant, government support. So especially in recent years, the Ministry of Finance has allotted Rs 4,000 crore package for the promotion of herbal cultivation under the Atmanirbhar Bharat, especially 2015 onwards. So the government is motivating for the cultivation. So the previously it was there that NMPB, National Medicinal Plant Board. So now it is merged with the National Ayush Mission. So National Ayush Mission is funding for the cultivation of many medicinal plants. Especially the Ministry of Ayush implemented the centrally sponsored scheme of NAM, National Ayush Mission, to promote the cultivation of medicinal plants. And to encourage the farmers to cultivate the medicinal plants, the subsidy also given that depend on the requirement of medicinal plants. It may be a 30%, 50%, or for rare drugs up to 75% of the subsidy is given for cultivation based on the priority of the medicinal plant species. So these are the government support which is available and to motivate the cultivation of medicinal plant. So last, the conclusion is the cultivation provides the opportunity to solve the problem encountered in the production of medicinal plant, such as toxic component and misidentification. So especially for the prevention of adulteration in the drug industry, isn't it? The cultivation is very much required. So that Ayurveda actually gives a potent medicine and potent therapeutic result. So because of lack of availability of genuine drug, so we are losing the good result. So the maintaining of genuinity in Ayurveda drugs is very much important role in all the stages, since cultivation to dispensing the medicine. So every stage you need to maintain the drug in proper way. And cultivation can improve the yield of active compounds. So simple example that I told you, so if the crude drug is not stored properly, isn't it? So that may be destroyed by the animals or rodent, or sometimes the fecal matters or animal fecal matters, it may be mixed with the crude drugs. So that deteriorate the medicinal values. So the storage also important, and harvesting also. So proper time, collection period also important role to maintain the good active compounds. And then GAP, good agricultural practices for medicinal plants, which ensure the quality of medicines and which facilitate the standardization of herbal drugs. So for the herbal drug standardization as per the API standards, so the cultivation is prime importance. So there is no alternate methods. So this is the conclusion. So thank you. Ultimately, I would like to express my special thanks to the management of both SGM as well as SPG Ayurveda Medical College, principal of both colleges, and organizing committees, Dr. Adivesh Harkeri, Dr. Pushkar Ketkar, and Shilpa Hiremat, and all the organizing team and staff and participants. Thank you. Thank you, Ananda. So if you have any doubts, you can ask.
Thank you, sir. We have few queries, sir.
Yes.
So what are the advantages and disadvantages of genetically modified plants?
So actually that genetically modified plant, so when compared to the Ayurveda drugs, so that genetical modified, so sometimes which increases the therapeutic value. Some of the genes which increase the therapeutic value of the medicinal plants and which heals the growth rate also. Sometimes which improves the quantity of the drugs genetically modified. Because the main intention of genetically modified plant is when populations are more, we need to supply for all the people. So that's why to improve the quantity of the drugs, so the genetically modified for easy cultivation of the drugs. But disadvantage is, so we are not able to maintain the same active principle in the genetically modified drug like that of natural source. A good amount of active principle in the natural sources, but genetically modified bit less when compared to the natural source. It is the disadvantages of genetically modified drugs.
Okay, sir. And one more question, sir. What are the steps or the policies government should take in conservation of depleting medicinal plants? What are the other steps could the government or the policy can be made?
So actually that so many policies are there, especially that Atmanirbhar Bharat after even Ayush department, there are many policies there in the cultivation area, that how much cultivation area and what are the priority of drugs, that 140 drugs are listed based on the priority. So like that the policies are made. So priority of drug, if you cultivate, the subsidy is more. So like that the many policies are there. It is available in the net only, isn't it? That's
Okay,
Central
sir.
Government of India especially, and NEAM also.
Okay, sir. And there is a one more question, that what are the fertilizers can be used for the medicinal plants? And
Actually fertilizers, that first preferential is that natural, isn't it? Manures, that cow dung manures. So those things it should be preferable. Suppose if you are unable to get, then only go for chemical fertilizers. That preferential is to maintain the good active principle in the drugs. So preferential is that natural fertilizers, natural manures.
okay, sir.
Like it
And
may
there's
be.
a one more question. Yes.
Yes.
So one more is there, sir. The factors that must be prime factor that must be considered before we cultivate the plants.
Prime factors.
That
So
must be
in prime
considered
factor before cultivation.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So one is the selection of land, isn't it? And even examination of mud, and even we can take the drug. Then what are the drug or what type of drugs can be grown in the particular land and particular environment or temperature, or even how much water resources is available in the particular area. So these must be assessed first, then before cultivation, and one should inquiry are the binding with the industries. So who are the buyers, isn't it? So sometimes the buyers, what will happen after cultivation, so they may not give a good rate. So that's why the agreement also important before cultivation, even selection of land and observe the water resource, isn't it? And amount of field and what kind of drugs can be cultivated in the particular areas.
Okay, sir. And there is a one more, sir. How can we increase the plant growth?
Plant growth, that plant hormones is there, no? So increase the plant growth means to increase the stem growth. Auxins is good.
Oxygen.
To improve the flower, that based on the useful part of drug, isn't it? Suppose in the any drug, so in the Kumari, that leaf is useful part. So to improve the leaf growth, that gibberellins, isn't it? So the different type of hormones in that artificial hormonal preparations is there. So like that, the plant growth regulators are there, no? So those are used, the depending on the to improve the useful part of the drug. If the leaf is useful part, so to increase the leaf growth, isn't it? So using of that cytokinins, so like that, that regulators I told you, know, those are used depending on the useful part.
Okay, so then the last question, sir. And how can we
Yes.
motivate our farmers to grow the medicinal herbs? How can we motivate our farmers to grow the medicinal
Actually, so we are ensuring the rate, the policy is there, isn't it? So here in Asan area, that one of the farmer, they are cultivating a shatavari, isn't it? So the through the company or some agencies are there. So agencies, they are ensuring the rate per kg, how much rate is given. So by that only we can possible to motivate, isn't it? So by losing or by loss, so nobody is ready to cultivate the drug. So ensuring, suppose if you cultivate this much amount of drug, so ensure that this much amount will be, or profit will be available. So by that we are ensuring. So like that many agencies are there. So agencies motivating the farmers to cultivate many plants, and those agencies will purchase and supply it to the industries.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And first, I would like
Thank
to
you.
thank for accepting our invitation and giving your valuable time, sir. And also for highlighting the importance of this conservation and cultivation of medicinal plants in present scenario, where the usage is more than cultivating the plants, and also explaining the different methods of propagation and their advantage, and clarify how different factors will affect the cultivation, and also explaining different methods to control the pest, and also how to maintain the endangered species, and the different policies should be made by the government to cultivate the plant. Thank you, sir, once again. And thank you,
Thank
sir,
you.
for sharing your knowledge.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Next we'll be having next session will be at 3:30, and the link will be sent in the WhatsApp group. And please join through the WhatsApp group. The link will be sent. Thank you.